Your salary is higher than your parents' ever was. So why does it feel like you're falling behind? If you've ever stood in a Malaysian supermarket and quietly done the math in your head, calculating whether you can afford both the chicken and the vegetables this week, then what I'm about to tell you isn't just economics. It's your life. Malaysia is officially one of Southeast Asia's great success stories. GDP growth, skyscrapers, the Petronas Towers gleaming in every tourism brochure. The government calls it a miracle. International investors call it a model. But here's what they don't put in the brochure. But wait. Before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my essential stuff. Comment, "I subscribe" below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. Household debt at 84% of GDP. A currency that just hit a 26-year low. 1.8 million educated Malaysians who quietly packed their bags and left. And an economy that has been just about to reach high-income status for 30 years. 30 years. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain. Not with political spin, not with dry academic language, but with the real numbers, the real stories, and the real reasons why Malaysia is standing at one of the most important crossroads in its history. Stay with me until the end, because the last section contains the one thing that could genuinely change the trajectory of this country, and almost nobody is talking about it. Let me introduce you to Ahmad. He's 58 years old. He spent his entire working life as a Felda rubber tapper in Pahang, waking at 4 a.m., tapping trees in the dark, building a life that his father told him would be secure. It wasn't. When rubber prices collapsed and Felda's financial troubles began making headlines, Ahmad's plantation income shriveled. His cooperative still sends him letters about debt. His son, a university graduate, now drives Grab in Kuala Lumpur, sleeping in his car 3 nights a week to save on petrol. Ahmad isn't an exception. He's a pattern. Because here's the uncomfortable truth about Malaysian economic growth. It has not been equal. It has not been evenly distributed. And the gap between those it lifted and those it left behind is getting wider. The World Bank's 2023 report placed Malaysia's Gini coefficient at 0.407. To put that in plain language, a small group of Malaysians is capturing a wildly disproportionate share of the country's growing wealth. So when someone says, Malaysia's economy is doing well, you have every right to ask, well, for whom?
There are effectively two Malaysias. One Malaysia lives in gated communities in Damansara, shops at Pavilion on weekends, and sends children to private universities. The other Malaysia counts coins on Sunday night. And that second Malaysia, it's much, much larger. But the inequality story, as ugly as it is, isn't even the most alarming part. That's when things got worse in 2024. The Malaysian ringgit fell to its lowest level against the US dollar in 26 years. Let me say that again, because it deserves to land properly. Point 20. 6 years the last time the ringgit was this weak. Malaysia was in the middle of the 1997 Asian financial crisis. Factories were closing. The IMF was circling. It was a national emergency. This time, there were no sirens, no emergency press conferences. The ringgit just quietly lost value. And most Malaysians felt it not in headline news, but in their shopping carts. Meet Priya. She's 34, a nurse in Penang, mother of a 14-month-old daughter. 18 months ago, a tin of imported baby formula cost her around RM55. Today, the same tin costs RM78. That's a 42% increase. Her salary? It went up 4%. She told me she started rationing scoops. 1 less scoop per bottle. She knows it's not ideal. She does it anyway. Bank Negara Malaysia's own 2024 annual report confirmed that import-dependent consumer goods have been running at compounded inflation of around 3.8% annually. For a country that imports a significant portion of its food, medicine, and manufactured goods, a weak currency isn't just a financial problem. It's a nutrition problem. It's a health problem. It's a quiet emergency dressed up as normal. So what's driving the ringgit down? Part of the answer is global, U.S. interest rates, dollar strength, capital flight from emerging markets. But the deeper answer is structural, and it connects to something Malaysia has been quietly dependent on since before most of you were born. Because Malaysia built its modern economy on one resource, and that resource is running out. Here's a number that should keep Malaysian policymakers awake at night. Petronas contributes somewhere between 20 and 25% of total government revenue in an average year. One company a fifth of the national budget, built on a finite, depleting resource that Malaysia's proven oil reserves at current extraction rates are projected to last fewer than 15 years. And Sig Zulkifli is 62. He spent 28 years as an engineer at Petronas. He watched the company go from an unstoppable national symbol to an organization quietly downsizing, restructuring pension plans, and hedging its own bets on renewable energy.
Pension plans and hedging its own bets on renewable energy. I thought oil would last forever, he told me. We all did. That was the mistake. Now compare Malaysia's approach to Norway's. Norway discovered North Sea oil around the same era as Malaysia tapped Petronas's potential. But Norway did something radical. It locked the oil money into a sovereign wealth fund. Today, Norway's government pension fund, Global, is worth over $1 trillion. It funds Norwegian schools, hospitals, and infrastructure without touching a drop of oil revenue. Malaysia had a version of this strategy. Then came 1MDB, and I can already hear some of you saying, "Not this again, we know about 1MDB." But here's what you might not know. The damage from 1MDB isn't just historical. It isn't over. It is actively costing Malaysia right now, today, in ways that connect directly to your cost of living, your children's school funding, and Malaysia's ability to borrow on international markets. So let's talk about it properly. Over USD 4.5 billion, stolen, not mismanaged, not poorly invested. Stolen, routed through shell companies, laundered through international banks, spent on super yachts, Picasso paintings, diamond jewelry, and the production of a Hollywood film. Goldman Sachs paid USD 3.9 billion in settlements related to its role in the scandal. Malaysia saw a fraction of that money returned. But here's the part that goes deeper than the theft itself. When a government-linked entity at that scale commits fraud of that magnitude, it doesn't just lose money. It loses credibility. It loses the trust of international capital markets. And rebuilding that trust is extraordinarily slow and painful. The IMF's Fiscal Monitor from 2023 found that countries recovering from sovereign-level corruption take an average of 11 to 17 years to restore institutional investor trust to pre-scandal levels. Malaysia is currently in year 10 of that clock. Every time the Malaysian government wants to issue bonds, raise capital, or attract foreign direct investment, there's still a 1MDB discount applied. A credibility tax. Invisible to most people, but real, measurable, and expensive. Think about that the next time you see a half-finished government highway or a hospital with equipment still in boxes. The money to complete those projects existed once. But here's the thing. Even if 1MDB had never happened, Malaysia would still be facing a deeper structural crisis that no single scandal created. One that's been building for decades. And it involves the smartest, most ambitious young Malaysians doing something perfectly rational that is quietly devastating for everyone left behind.
Wei Ling is 27. Computer science degree from University Technology Malaysia, a solid, reputable qualification. She graduated top 10% of her cohort. She had 2 job offers: Kuala Lumpur, RM 3,500 per month. Singapore, SGD 4,200 per month. After currency conversion, the Singapore offer is nearly 4 times higher. It comes with better health care, faster career progression, and a cost of living that, despite Singapore's reputation, is more manageable for a single professional than KL is for a family. She left 6 months ago. She messages her mother every Sunday. She didn't abandon Malaysia. Malaysia couldn't afford to keep her. The OECD's 2023 migration outlook is stark. Malaysia ranks in the top 10 globally for skilled immigration relative to total population size. We're not talking about economic migrants seeking better conditions. We're talking about the exact people every developing economy needs most. Engineers, doctors, data scientists, entrepreneurs, voting with their passports. And here's the part that should terrify every Malaysian policymaker. These aren't people who hate Malaysia. Most of them love Malaysia. The food, the family, the culture. But love doesn't pay rent in Cheras or school fees in Petaling Jaya. Now, here's where this story gets complicated, because not all the news is bad. Some Malaysians are coming back. A small but significant reverse flow has begun, driven by something unexpected. A massive wave of foreign investment that is physically reshaping parts of the country right now. And the country driving most of that investment might surprise you. Malaysia is currently threading what might be the most delicate economic needle in Southeast Asia. On one side, the United States and its allies, increasingly suspicious of Chinese economic expansion in the region. Down on the other side, China, pouring money into Malaysia at a pace that is genuinely transforming.